Jungkook's small body trembled under Minnie's harsh grip. His innocent eyes now filled with terror. Scanned the locked door, searching for a way out, waiting for his daddy to save him. Just as Minnie raised her hand to hit him, the door flew open with a loud bang, startling them both. Tae stood at the doorway, his presence like a storm ready to wreak havoc. His eyes were glowing with fury, veins visible in his neck as he clenched his jaw. His shirt still partially unbuttoned from his earlier encounter with Jimin revealed a glimpse of his toned chest. But his appearance was far from charming now. It was terrifying. Minnie, step away from him. Right now. Tae's voice, cold, scary and dripping with venom, filled the room. Minnie's expression faltered for a moment before she sneered, her grip on Jungkook tightening. Tae Oppa, he's the reason for everything. He took you away from me. He ruined my life. I'll end him. And you'll be free of him. Minnie said, sounding totally crazy. While hearing words, Tae's anger boiled over. In a swift movement he grabbed Minnie's wrist, twisting it painfully, forcing her to let go of Jungkook. You think you can touch what's mine? You think you can hurt my little one and get away with it? Do you really think it? Don't you know me? Tae's voice was deep, every word like. Minnie whimpered in pain, but Tae showed no mercy. His other hand shot out, grabbing her by the throat. The dark side of him that even he couldn't control was fully unleashed now. His extreme angry psycho side is fully exposed. His eyes are bloodshot red, which piercing holes in Minnie's soul, while veins are popping out of his neck and the hand he is holding Minnie's throat, who is now struggling for breathing. If Tae didn't release her from his tight grip now, she will definitely. Jungkook, sitting on the bed, watched the scene unfold with wide, terrified eyes. He had never seen this side of Tae before. The man who had always been gentle with him, always protective and loving, was now unrecognizable. Tears streamed down Jungkook's cheeks as he whispered in a shaky, terrified voice, "Daddy." Hearing Jungkook's soft, frightened voice snapped something in Tae. He immediately turned his head slightly, locking eyes with Jungkook. The pure fear in Jungkook's eyes made his heart stop for a moment. His little one was scared of him. Tae released Minnie abruptly, causing her to stumble backward, clutching her throat. Without taking his eyes off Jungkook, Tae spoke to her in a deathly voice. "Leave, before I do something I won't regret for sure." Minnie scrambled to the door, her eyes wide with panic, and fled the room without looking back. Tae closed his eyes for a moment, trying to steady his breathing, trying to calm the inside him. But when he opened his eyes, Jungkook was still looking at him like he was a stranger. His little one was trembling. He slowly walked towards Jungkook. "Baby bun." His voice softer now. Jungkook flinched, scooting back on the bed, his small body shaking. "Daddy Cookie is sorry. Don't be mad, please," Jungkook said in a low, trembling voice. Hearing his words, Tae's heart shattered into pieces. Seeing Jungkook so scared of him felt worse than any betrayal or rage he had ever experienced. He knelt by the bed, his hands trembling as he reached out but hesitated. "Baby, I'm not mad at you. I'm so sorry. You must be so scared," Tae said in a soft, caring voice. Hearing Tae's words, Jungkook's lower lip trembled as he whispered slowly, "Daddy scared Cookie. Daddy looked so scary." Tae gently cupped Jungkook's face, his thumbs wiping away the tears that streaked down his cheeks. He leaned in, pressing his forehead against Jungkook's, while says with so much care, "I'm so sorry, baby bun. Don't be scared of Daddy. I would never scare you again. You're my everything. My beloved little one." Jungkook's sobs quieted as he slowly calmed down, feeling Tae's warmth and love enveloping him. But the fear still lingered in his innocent big eyes. Daddy was so scary. What if Daddy gets mad like that again? Will Daddy be like this again? Slightly looking at Tae, Jungkook asks in a low, shaky voice. Tae swallowed hard, knowing his dark side was something he couldn't fully control. But he also knew that he couldn't lose Jungkook. He can't let his little one live in fear of him. "I'll never let you see that side of me again, baby. I promise I'll protect you. And always love you. You're safe with me. Just trust me, okay? Everything will be fine." Cupping Jungkook's chubby cheeks, giving little soft kisses all over Jungkook's face, I said this all in a sweet, loving honey voice. Seeing his this gesture, no one will believe he is the wild person a while ago. Jungkook buried his face into Tae's chest, his small hands clutching Tae's shirt tightly. Tae wrapped his arms around Jungkook, holding him as close as possible, as if holding him tighter could erase the fear he had caused. "You're mine, baby little one. No one will ever hurt you again. Not Minnie, not anyone. I'll make sure of that." Saying this in a deep, calm voice, Tae pressed a gentle kiss into Jungkook's forehead, his lips lingering there as he whispered softly, "Daddy is here, baby. Don't be afraid anymore. You're safe now. And you will be safe for forever. Daddy will never let anything happen to you. Daddy loves you more than anything in this world. Your Daddy's most precious little boba ball. Your Daddy's that piece of strawberry cake which Daddy specially took out only to have it all himself." Though Jungkook is still a little bit shaken, but his heart felt warm at Tae's words. He slowly nodded, his trust in Tae starting to return. He mumbled in low voice, "Cookie loves Daddy too." And with that, Jungkook fell asleep in Tae's arms, safe for now, while Tae silently vowed to never let his darkness consume him in front of his little one ever again. Time skip. The next day, Tae sat in his cabin, his mood darker than ever. His thoughts were consumed by the events from the night before, by Minnie's actions, and by the fear he had seen in Jungkook's eyes. The rage that had momentarily subsided was back, fiercer than ever. He could feel it boiling under his skin, waiting to be unleashed. He couldn't let Minnie get away with what she'd done. She had dared to harm the most precious person in his life, and there was no way he would allow her to go unpunished. As he brushed his shiny silky hair back with his long fingers in frustration, his phone rang. It was Soga informing him that Minnie had been brought to the mansion, as Tae had instructed. She was waiting in one of the isolated rooms, guarded by his men. "Good. Make sure she doesn't leave that room until I am ready for her." His voice was cold, devoid of any mercy. After hanging up, Tae took a moment to calm himself. He couldn't let his anger spiral out of control like it had with Jimin. He needed to be calculated, precise. He needed Minnie to understand exactly what it meant across him. He stood up, adjusting his suit jacket, his face hardening as he made his way to the isolated part of the mansion where Minnie was being held. In the isolated room, Minnie paced the room, her heart pounding. She knew what was coming. She had seen Ty's wrath before, but never like this. She had crossed a line this time, and there was no escaping it. The door creaked open, and Minnie froze. Ty stepped inside, his expression unreadable, but his eyes burned with fury. He closed the door behind him, the sound of the lock clicking shut echoing in the room. "You've made a grave mistake, Minnie." Ty's voice was calm, too calm, and that terrified her more than if he had come in screaming. Minnie fell to her knees, clasping her hands together as she begged. "Taekook, please. I didn't mean to hurt him. I was angry. I wasn't thinking straight. Please forgive me. I was desperate. Because of my love for you. I've been loving you for ages now. My love made me do this mistake." Ty slowly walked closer, his gaze never leaving her. He didn't say a word, but the silence was suffocating. When he finally spoke, his voice was laced with icy contempt. "Love isn't an excuse for desperation. You tried to hurt my little one. You tried to hurt what's mine. You have betrayed me." Ty's voice deep dark. Minnie's heart raced. She had never seen this version of Ty up close before. His dark psycho side, the one she had only heard about in whispers, was fully in front of her now. She scrambled her feet, backing away. But there was nowhere to go. Ty moved closer, backing her into a corner, his sharp eyes never leaving hers. "You thought you could touch my little one and not face the consequences. You thought I wouldn't find out, huh?" His hands shot out, grabbing Minnie by the throat, lifting her slightly off the ground as she gasped for air. "You think you deserve mercy?" Minnie's eyes widened in fear, tears streaming down her face as she struggled to speak. Please." Ty's grip tightened for a moment before he abruptly released her, letting her fall to the floor. Gasping and clutching her throat, he knelt down beside her, his voice low. "Do you know what happens to people who betray me? Let me tell you an interesting story. The girl who hugged my little one and called him soft. I hugged her without thinking twice. Then what do you think I'll do to you? After whatever you have done? Can you imagine it?" Minnie shook her head, frantically sobbing. "No, please, I'm sorry, Taekook. Please, I'll do anything. Just don't." Ty's smile was dark, almost sadistic. He stood up, walking over to a small cabinet in the corner of the room. He opened it and pulled out a "To be continued." Next part will be uploaded soon. Till then, keep supporting by like, comment and share. Thanks for watching. Balls.